Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today is a bit of a special one because I'm up here in Devon. I don't usually actually get to ride in Devon because nowadays, having a kid and having grandparents that live in Somerset, we're in Cornwall. When I go to work, I drive through Devon and then I drop B at the grandparents and then I go on off up to work, up country and stuff. But today I actually had to go for a hospital appointment in Plymouth, which is like just over there somewhere. And I thought, well, I'm already up here. Let's have a bit of fun and see if I can go to one of my old haunts. And this is Sheep's Tor. This is like one of the most beautiful places, I think, in pretty much the world. This is actually where they filmed Warhorse. Steven Spielberg filmed up here like 15 years ago, and he said it was one of the most beautiful places ever. And I mean, when you look behind me at like the reservoir and everything down there, you can see exactly why it was so inspirational. And I've ridden my bike up here a couple of times before. In fact, the last time I was here was probably about 6 years ago. It's one of those places where like it's a long walk from the car. I've been walking for like 20-25 minutes to get all the way up here, and it's often very windy. This is actually quite a still day, so even though you can probably hear some wind, this is actually really good conditions for being up here because you can get blown over up here quite comfortably because we've got a serious sort of amount of elevation up here. I'm not quite sure how much, but it's quite high off the ground, off of like sea level. But there's some pretty cool riding up here by the looks of things, so I'm going to have a hop around and see what I can do. And this is going to be hopefully the first in actually a couple of videos about Dartmoor, because I've literally not ridden Dartmoor on the channel really since it's been going for the last couple of years, because like I said before, it just hasn't worked out in terms of logistics. But over the next couple of weeks I do actually have a fair few gigs in Devon, which is really exciting because I love Devon. I grew up here. I grew up in North Devon until the age of 16, and this Sheep's Tor was actually one of the first places that my dad ever took me climbing. It's one of the first places he ever took me to ride my bike when I was a kid. When I first got into like trials and stuff, I remember coming up here with my Specialized P3 and rolling over stuff, and it was just, yeah, really great fun. And I've only been up here a couple of times, so I can't actually remember where everything is, but I'm going to have a look and see. But right, enough talking. Let's see if we can have a hop around on some of the beautiful rocks up here on Sheep's Tor. Thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe as well. I got the Heavy Huckers t-shirt on as usual, so please go and support the guys as before. At the time of filming this, I do believe Eddie Waitman has just made it into his first World Cup, so absolutely good on you. And yeah, let's see what I can do up here. Right, so the last time that I rode this bike was in Chelmsford a couple of days ago. This is also the first proper natural ride for the short and clean, so fingers crossed it likes it. Oh, got streety tyre pressures, may need to increase them a little bit. Nice. Yeah, a lot less tyre fold there. Maybe too hard. Oh, that constant thing of like, how much is too much? Yeah, much more grip. Grip, less tyre roll. I don't know. It works. It works and it is good. It's a weird thing because the rock is so hard, yet the grass is so soft. There we go. There we go. I'm thrilled to say it feels like my hay fever has cleared up, because in some of the last videos I just sounded awful. I was so wheezy, but hopefully that's different with this one. that was fun. Whoa, so hard to get in the right place for that. Nice. Decent side hop. Sort of stretch everything out. Lower at the front, higher at the back. Not the nice rolling up to it, I hoped, but oh god, nearly went over there. Still forced to kind of lean quite far back. Still get stalled on that rear wheel, but that's fine. Now there's a little gap here, say little, it's probably, to be honest, quite big for me. From here over onto that one. Now it might be, because it's slanting this way, it does look like it could be a Frenchie, but also it might just be a gap to rear and then bump up, or hook, or maybe even go right to the top bit, which would be, I don't know. But the takeoff's quite nice. Fairly sort of solid rounded edge there. And there's another one to there actually, which could be quite fun. But yeah, let's give it a go and see. Whoa, that was weird. I sort of popped off the takeoff. Whoa, would you look at that? Even surprised myself a bit there. Nice. Kind of want to see if it will just go straight over to that one there. Okay. What, that'll do. Nice little gap off this nubbin over here, up onto that bit somehow, which is going to be a weird one. Oh, no, that's fine. Could just do it normally. Slightly different one from a different rock, but onto, it's actually the same rock I was just gapping to, but onto this. This is quite narrow, this thing I'm on, so it comes to a point, and then there's just lots of things wrong with the landing. So again, narrow pointy takeoff, awkward landing. So this is the stuff that really I've just missed out on in training for the last couple of years, because Dartmoor really is just such an incredible type of terrain, not even just a place, but you just don't find stuff like this anywhere else. There's really not much like it in Cornwall. In Cornwall we have much more sort of like seasidey boulders, like coastal rocks, which are very different. You don't have as many gaps between things because there's always something in between it, but here it's just great. So sort of wish I'd spent more time and places like Alextor and Routor, but they are relatively inaccessible. Well, all of this is, but yeah. Right, enough chit chat. Enough talk. Actually got stuck in that other rock. Just turn the camera slightly because this is the other side of that rock. Should be a nice, relatively simple swap. Could be the thumbnail. Let's see. And we'll find out later if that made it. And so this is kind of why I love Dartmoor, because you get things like this, which is basically streety natural. So there's a pretty flat for Dartmoor, kind of run up into this. I'm going to see what the side hop is like first. So I was going to go off that rock, but maybe, do I want to go from just back here? No, let's try them both. See how we feel. I'm dripping sweat. Such an old man. Whoa. I wish there was just like a mini pocket grinder you could take with. Like not a big one, just a little like Leatherman sized grinder with like a diamond cutting blade on it. And you could just put it in your bag and you could just go wing, 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 wing and touch up your grind. Is that silly? I don't know, maybe such a thing exists. Let's try and get that side off a bit nicer. That was definitely better. Well, it goes up. Whoa, it's there. Oh, wasn't pretty, but it worked. Oh, works out all right, actually. Lean the shoulders forward. Nice. Testing. So I've just come down the hill a little bit to this little spot that I found where there's this kind of amazing little pillar here. It's like the top of a little Toblerone, and my plan is to try and see if I can gap to that just from back there somewhere, get onto that and then up onto this iceberg looking thing. It is quite treacherous looking around here, and I'll feel a little bit bad about this, but I am going to stamp down some of this bracken just so I can actually see. So I think the Park Service would rather have a few bits of bracken that would have been trampled down by wild ponies and everything else, as opposed to sending out a helicopter to recover me because my ankle is broken. In doing that, I've also just uncovered a nice little side hop there as well, by the looks of things. Side hop off that thing. I might do that first. Right, okay, that kind of gives me an idea of where I can and can't fall. Whoa! I came right off that point and I nearly sort of lost the ability to hold on. That was a bit weird. I also have had a little bit of a rest, so that was the first thing I really did. So should probably have warmed up better. Oh God, that's so weird. It can go. There we go. There we go. Now, to give you an idea, what I'm going to do is I'm going to gap down to the one that I'm about to try and take off from. See how that works out. Yes! Do I push my luck? I feel like I should. Oh my God. Horrible bit. Oh my God. Horrible bit of tyre fold there. And we're done with that. Happy with that. Actually really comfortable when you get on it. Like, I thought it'd be really weird, but because it's quite wide and leaning sort of that way a bit, it's actually kind of supportive. So yeah, I'll just get a little, there you go. That was the takeoff. Kind of weird, quite wide though, to be honest. And then up to that thing, sort of the whale nose there, boop. But yeah, happy days. Oh, I'm gonna have a break for 5 minutes. So I've just come down now to like the bottom side of the hill, which is sort of coming back around to where I started. And these are a couple of gaps here. I thought I'd done it from this one in the past, but thankfully I've just checked the video from like 13 years ago and I didn't do it off that one. I did it off, there's a hidden one here, you probably can't see it on the camera, and there's another one there. I'm going to try and give them a go, just to see if I can still do what I did back then. And then yeah, let's try a few other bits and bobs. Nice. Felt weird, but this looks scary. Mildly scary gap here from, again, weird pointy thing. Gonna get right to the edge there and then gonna get up there, but it's actually, that's a hole there. That's like a 6 foot down. I do not want to fall in it, but fingers crossed I will not. Yeah, that worked out all right. Yeah, that worked out all right. So this is a line that I did back in 2012 on my Genesis, which was to gap from that rock there up to this one, which, as you can see by my GoPro, is like tiny up here. It gets bigger down here, and then edge onto about where my left foot is there, and drop gap over to that. Honestly, back then I remember it just being like not a particularly difficult or big line. Now my brain's kind of freaking out about it, so you know what, I'm just going to get on it and go. That's massive. I swear to God, have these rocks moved? I know that the answer is probably not for 10,000 years, but literally, how did I... Okay, slightly went to the lower bit, but my 25-year-old self, who was a lot fitter, hadn't done the additional 13 years of drinking and smoking, and I wasn't anywhere near as afraid of breaking their leg, which I did do. I broke my leg in 2010, didn't I? Yeah. But yeah. All right, come on, fatty. Whoa. Okay, so it actually turns out that one, I've pretty much run out of time because I've got to head on back home now, and two, the majority of the stuff that I was going to ride is kind of all overgrown with bracken and stuff. It's one of the things I've found, and looking back at some of the old videos, it actually turns out there was like a lot less bracken and brush and growth and stuff like 10, 12 years ago. I'm not entirely sure why that is. Yeah, maybe there's less animals here to eat it, maybe they grow in cycles and stuff or something, but a lot of the riding here has definitely grown over. So I would say I've had a great day here. I've had loads of fun, and just I cannot get enough of this view. You could be in Northern California or you could be in Australia. It's amazing here. We have such beautiful places in the United Kingdom. I just wish that we would look after them, and I think we are doing pretty well, don't get me wrong, but definitely we can always keep doing better. So yeah, if you were thinking of coming and riding here, I would say you might be disappointed, just because a large amount of the rocks and good riding that I found in the past is now grown over. So yeah, and you can't just come out here with a strimmer and stuff. This is Dartmoor, this is protected land. So yeah, but I've had a great day here. It's been super fun. It's been really interesting seeing what, like, considering like the last time I came here to ride would have been about 4 or 5 years ago, when I was on the Limey, and then the time before that would have been like 2012 on the Genesis. And the time when I was here in 2012, I was like possibly at my peak, the best riding I've ever done. Like certainly, like I had the least amount of fear and the possibly most amount of power. I might be a bit more powerful now, or I might be a bit more efficient, but yeah, it's really it's nice that I can be kind to myself and go, come on, I was like in my mid-20s and in my prime, and I'm nearly 40 now. I am legit middle-aged, and I can still do some of this stuff, so I'm really happy with that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Please go and subscribe. If you'd like to see more of Dartmoor, then let me know in the comments below. Well, I mean, even if you do or don't want to see more of Dartmoor, I'm going to go and film more of it. So, yeah, happy days. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys all next week for whatever we've got then. All right, take care, bye-bye.